Hello everyone. Good morning, and I hope you are all doing very well. So, today morning, I'm headed to Great Sand Dunes National Park, which is a national park that is located in the southern part of Colorado. This is going to be a 2 day trip, and I will be sleeping inside my car, and this small space is going to be my home for the next 2 days. So, please come with me and enjoy the journey to Great Sand Dunes National Park. Before I head out, I thought I would give you a short trip of my car and the way I have set it up so that I can use it as a sleeping space for the next 2 days. And I'll also show you the photography gear that I'm carrying for this trip. And come along, take a look. So, this small space that I have here is what I have set it up as bed. I have folded the back seats, and I have spread this quilt which has a nice thermal rating, and below it is the yoga mat, and below the yoga mat I have this thermocol layers. So this should give me plenty of comfort and insulation from the cold that is expected for the next 2 days. And I also have this REI Magma quilt, which is rated at minus 18F. So that should be plenty of material for me to keep warm for the next two cold nights. And coming to the photography gear, what I'm carrying is my trusted Nikon D850 with the 24-120 lens, f4 lens. And I also have my Nikon 1424 2.8 lens along with a bunch of filters, and I'm also carrying my Nikon 200 to 500 lens for the telephoto purposes. And that particular bag has another lens which is a Nikon 20mm 1.8 along with a bunch of chargers and other stuff. The red bag behind that is my food for the next 2 days. I have some energy bars and dry fruits and stuff like that I can eat while I stay in the car. And I have the water supply for the next 2 days. And then I have my tripod, hiking poles, and these are the crampons in case if I get to hike on some of the icy surfaces that are in the park. So I think we should be good. So let's see how it goes. It's 10 o'clock. This is the first night at Great Sand Dunes National Park. I'm about to go back to bed, and you hear that? That is a sound of 15 miles per hour wind blowing right outside my car. And hopefully, when I get up tomorrow morning, I will have some snow on the dunes that I can photograph. So I'm tired. It's been 5 hours of drive and then driving back to Alamosa to get some food for dinner. We skipped our lunch in the afternoon so that we could reach the national park. So I'm tired. Hopefully I'll get a good sleep, ignoring all the wind noise that I'm hearing right now. And it's predicted that I will have 20 to 30 miles per hour wind speeds at night with the snow. So hopefully the snow will be good tomorrow morning, and I'll get to photograph sand dunes all covered in snow. So let's see what the morning has for us. So till then, good night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It was some night yesterday, and morning I woke up to snow and so much of fog that I was not able to see the sand dunes. So right now I'm driving to Zapata Falls, which is a falls that is closer to Great Sand Dunes National Park, and the falls is frozen at this point in time, so it would be a nice photography subject. So I'm exploring photographing it in a few minutes now. So I'll take you to that place now. So this is a dirt road that is fully covered in snow right now, and you have to be very careful when driving here. So I'm taking it very, very easy. It's a little bit of a hike to Zapata Falls, and right now I'm hiking. There's a lot of snow on the ground now. So I'm entering the Zapata Falls now. Oops. Water is still flowing underneath my feet, and it's a little bit scary. I think because it's winter, then probably it's okay. With no signs of weather improving and the dunes covered in thick fog, I abandoned my plan to stay in my car for another day in extreme cold temperatures. So after photographing Zapata Falls and grabbing a quick lunch at Alamosa, I headed back home, ending the vlog for this trip. I have put together a set of images that I made during this trip, which I'm going to show you next, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did making them. I will show you the images now while describing the lighting conditions I encountered while making them. This first image was made on my way to National Park just before I entered the park. The sun had just peeked through the clouded sky, illuminating the bushes to give them a vibrant golden color. I think the color contrast between the snow-covered mountains in the background and the golden bushes in the foreground creates a nice depth in the frame. This second image is a horizontal panorama I made using my telephoto lens at 200 mm. The storm clouds were moving in the background while the dunes basked in the evening golden light, giving them an ethereal glow. I totally forgot to vlog this sequence only to realize later that this would be my last sighting of the dunes for this trip. While I was searching for other compositions that included the dunes, this tourist walked into the frame I had already composed. The human element in the frame depicts the scale of the dunes, showcasing the vastness of the landscape, which I think is hard to emphasize in a composition without the presence of a human subject in the image. I made this last image of the dunes after the fog moved in and the dunes were hardly visible. I think the presence of fog cuts the details in the frame, almost reducing it to some type of abstract formations. I like this abstractness brought into the frame due to the presence of fog. I converted the image to black and white to further enhance the abstractness, and I hope it appeals to your taste buds. As you might have observed from my hike to Zapata Falls, the trail was looking like a winter wonderland with the freshly fallen snow. I couldn't resist making this image of snow falling on the trees while the thick clouds revealed the sun ever so slightly in the frame. I think the presence of sun and the mountains in the background creates the depth in the frame while the fog creates a moody feel to this winter wonderland image. This image of Zapata Falls captures the view that my vlogging camera failed to capture. Since the fall is located inside a canyon, there is hardly any light illuminating the rock walls of the canyon. Hence, to manage the dynamic range that is in the scene, I had to exposure bracket the scene to capture the details in those rock walls. The falls itself was well lit and was glowing with dark hues of blue. After I had made the wide-angle images of the falls in various compositions, I wanted to make some intimate images of the falls by isolating the interesting parts within the falls. To achieve that goal, I had to wear my micro spikes to venture closer to the falls. This image shows the frozen head of the falls reflecting those blue hues on the right, while the ice patterns on the left complements the frame. By far, this is my favorite image of the trip. I had noticed that the snow that was accumulating on the top of the canyon would sometimes fall from the opening due to wind. I wanted to capture this falling snow with the frozen falls in the background. Finally, after waiting for more than 45 minutes in the blistering cold, I captured this image that I had in my mind. The image for me depicts the soul of the waterfall departing the frozen falls. As I had mentioned earlier, I abandoned my plan to stay another day at the park due to the cloudy conditions, predicting that it would not cover the dunes with snow, which is what I was after. The same conditions which were problematic to photograph the dunes were actually fantastic to photograph the mountains that were peeking in and out from the cloud cover. The next set of images were made on my way back, and I like the abstract way in which peaks reveal themselves in the frame. For the second frame, I opted for a 4:3 crop to emphasize the lines in the frame further. The last image in this sequence is the last light falling on the ridge line of the mountain, illuminating it. Again, I opted for a 4:3 crop for this image to improve the composition further. Once again, thank you ever so much for taking this journey with me to Great Sand Dunes National Park. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did putting it together. Until the next one, take care and bye for now.